Well, hello there. It's me, J.K Rowling again. Welcome back to my channel, ladies and gentlemen. I am so glad to see you for joining me on this brand new video for story time together. It seems like we are setting in this festive mood for this wonderful, magical, charitable Christmas season of the year. It seems like this is a special gift between our friends and family from all over the world. So, let me show you a book I've got to read to you. Something you're quite familiar with. I've got Christmas at Hogwarts from Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone by J.K Rowling. This book was illustrated by Ziyi Gao. This is perfect for Harry Potter fans, and I think Hogwarts was mostly perfect for Christmas season themed with Harry Potter. I am such a huge fan of Harry Potter. I think Harry Potter theme would be good for Christmas, definitely. So, are you sure you want to join me for story time? Perfect. So, I hope you enjoyed the story. Okay, so let's begin. Christmas was coming. One morning in mid-December, Hogwarts woke to find itself covered in several feet of snow. No one could wait for the holidays to start, while the Gryffindor Common Room and the Great Hall had roaring fires and draughty corridors had become icy, and a bitter wind rattled the windows in the classrooms. Professor McGonagall had come round the week before, making a list of students who would be staying for the holidays, and Harry had signed up at once. He didn't feel sorry for himself at all. This would probably be the best Christmas had ever had. When Harry, Ron and Hermione left the dungeons at the end of potions, they found a large fit tray blocking the corridor ahead. Two enormous feet sticking out the bottom and loud puffing sound to tell them that Hagrid was behind it. "Hi, Hagrid. Want any help?" Ron asked, sticking his head through the branches. "Nah. I'm all right, thanks, Ron." "Tell ya what, come with me and see the Great Hall. Looks a treat." So the three of them followed Hagrid and his trees off to the Great Hall, where Professor McGonagall and Professor Flitwick were busy with Christmas decorations. "Ah, Hagrid, the last tree. Put it in the far corner, would you?" The hall looked spectacular. These tunes of holly and mistletoes hung all around the walls, and no fewer than 12 towering Christmas trees stood around the room, some sparkling with tiny icicles, some glittering with hundreds of candles. "How many days you got left till your holidays?" Hagrid asked. "Just one," said Hermione. Once the holidays had started, Ron and Harry had the dormitory to themselves, and the common room was far emptier than usual, so they were able to get the good armchairs by the fire. They sat by a hoped eating anything they could spare on the toasting fork. bread, crumpets, marshmallows, and plotting ways of getting Malfoy expelled, which were fun to talk about even if they wouldn't work. On Christmas Eve, Harry went to bed looking forward to the next day for the food and fun, but not expecting any presents at all. When he woke early next morning, however, the first thing he saw was a small pile of packages at the foot of his bed. "Happy Christmas," said Ron sleepily, as Harry scrambled out of bed and pulled on his dressing gown. "You too," said Harry. "Will you look at this? I got some presents. What do you expect?" "Turnips," said Ron, turning to his own pile, which was a lot bigger than Harry's. Harry picked up the top parcel. It was wrapped in thick brown paper and scrawled across. It was to Harry from Hagrid. Inside it was roughly cut wooden float. Hagrid had obviously whittled it to himself. Harry blew it. It sounded a bit like an owl. A second, very small parcel contained a note. "We received your message and enclosed your Christmas present from Uncle Vernon and Aunt Petunia." Sellotaped to the note was a 50p piece. "That's friendly," said Harry. Ron was fascinated by the 50p. "Weird," he said. "What a shape. This is money." "You can keep it," said Harry, laughing at how pleased Ron was. "Hagrid and my aunt and uncle. So who sent these?" "I think I know that what one's from," said Ron, going a bit pink and pointing to the very lumpy parcel. "My mum. I told her you didn't accept any presents and—" "Oh no," he groaned. She's made you a Weasley jumper." Harry had torn open the parcel to find a thick, hand-knitted sweater in emerald green and a large box of homemade fudge. "Every year she makes us a jumper," said Ron, unwrapping his own, "and mine's always maroon." "That's really nice of her," said Harry, trying the fudge, which was very tasty. His next present also contained sweets, a large box of chocolate frogs from Hermione. This left only one parcel. Harry picked it up and felt it. It was very light. He unwrapped it. Something fluid and silvery grey went slithering to the floor, where it lay in gleaming folds. One gasped. I've heard of those," he sounded in a hushed voice, dropping the box of every flavour beans he had got from Hermione. "If that's what I think it is. They're really rare and really valuable. What is it?" Harry picked a shiny, slivery cloth off the floor. It was strange to a touch, like water woven into material. "It's invincibility cloak," said Ron. A look of awe of his face. "I'm sure it is. Try it on." Harry threw the cloak around his shoulders and Ron gave a yell. "It is! Look down!" Harry looked down at his feet, but they had gone. He dashed to the mirror. Sure enough, his reflections looked back at him, just his head suspended in midair, his body completely invincible. He pulled the cloak over his head. His reflections vanished completely. There's a note, said Ron suddenly. A note fell out of it. Harry pulled off the cloak and seized a letter, written in narrow, loopy written he had never seen before, were the following words. "Your father left this in my possession before he died. It is time it was returned to you. Use it well. A very Merry Christmas to you." There was no signature. Harry stared at the note. One was admiring the cloak. "I'd give anything for one of these," he said. "Anything? What's the matter?" "Nothing," said Harry. He felt very strange. Who had sent the cloak? Had it really once belonged to his father? Before he could say or think anything else, the dormitory door was thrown open and Fred and George Weasley bounded in. Harry stuffed the cloak quickly out of sight. He didn't feel like sharing it with anyone else yet. "Merry Christmas. Hey, look, Harry's got the Weasley jumper too." Fred and George were wearing blue jumpers, one with a large yellow F on it, the other with a large letter yellow G. "Harry is better than ours, though," said Fred, holding up Harry's jumper. "She obviously makes more of an effort if you're not family." "Why aren't you wearing yours, Ron?" George demanded. "Come on, get on it. Get it on. They're lovely and warm." "I hate maroon," Ron moaned half-heartedly as he pulled it over his head. "You haven't got a letter on yours," George observed. "I suppose she thinks you don't forget your name. But we're not stupid. We know we are called Gred and Forge." "What's all this noise?" Percy stuck his head through the door, looking disapproving. He had clearly came halfway through and rubbed his present as he too carried a humpy jumper over his arm, which Fred seized. "I, for prefect, get it on." Percy came on. "We're all wearing ours. Even Harry got one." "I don't want," said Percy thickly, as the twins forced the jumper over his head, knocking his glasses askew. And you're not sitting with the prefects today, either," said George. "Christmas is time for family." They frog marched Percy from a room, his arms pinned to his sides by his jumper. Harry had never in all his life had such a Christmas dinner. 100 fat roast turkeys, mountains of roast and boiled potatoes, platters of fat chipolatas, and towings of buttered peas, and several bites of thick, rich gravy and cranberry sauce, and stack of wizard crackers every few feet along the table. These fantastic crackers were nothing like a Phoebo mugger ones that dancers usually bought. With their little plastic toys and their flimsy paper hats, Harry pulled a wizard cracker with thread, and it didn't just bang. It went off with a blast like a cannon and engulfed them all in a cloud of blue smoke, while from the inside exploded a rare animal's hat and several live white mice. Up on the high table, Dumbledore had swapped his pointed wizard hat for a flowered bonnet and was chuckling merrily at the joke Professor Flitwick had just read him. Flaming Christmas puddings followed the turkey. Percy nearly broke his teeth on a silver circle embedded in his slice. Harry watched Hagrid getting redder and redder in the face as he called for more wine. Finally, kissing Professor McGonagall on the cheek, who, to Harry's amazement, giggled and blushed, her top hat lopsided. When Harry finally left the table, he was laden down with a stack of things out of the crackers, including a pack of non-explodable luminous balloons, a grow-your-own warts kit, and its own new wizard chess set. The white mice had disappeared, and Harry had a nasty feeling they were going to end up as Mrs. Norris' Christmas dinner. Harry and the Weasleys spent a happy afternoon having a furious snowball fight in the grounds. Then, cold and wet and gasping for breath, they returned to the fire in the Gryffindor Common Room, and where Harry broke in his new chess set by losing spectacularly to Ron. He suspected he wouldn't have lost so badly if Percy hadn't tried to help him so much. After the tea of turkey sandwiches, crumpets, trifle and Christmas cake, everyone felt too full and sleepy to do much before bed except sit and watch Percy chase Fred and George all over the Gryffindor Tower because they had stolen his prefect's badge. It had been Harry's best Christmas day ever, yet something had been nagging at the back of his mind all day. Not until he climbed into the bed he felt free to think about it, the invincibility cloak, and whoever had sent it, wrong, full of turkey and cake, and with nothing mysteriously to bother him. Felt sleepy almost as soon as he drawn the curtains off his four-poster. Harry leant over the side of his own bed and pulled a cloak out from under it. This had been his father's. He let the material flow over his hands, smoother than silk, light as air. Use it well, the note he had said. he had to try it. Now, he slept out of bed and wrapped the cloak around himself, looking down at his legs. He saw only light, moonlight and shadows. It was a very funny feeling. Use it well. The end. So, this is a really interesting story of Christmas at Hogwarts. This is inspired by a first Harry Potter book called Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling. So, as you may know, I am such a huge fan of Harry Potter films and books. Especially, I do really like how Christmas themes, Harry Potter Christmas themed. This is perfect for Harry Potter fans, especially Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Slytherin, and Ravenclaw. In Hogwarts, which school of witchcraft and wizardry. So, I hope you're looking forward to Christmas on this December, and I'll see you on the next festive themes. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and just leave your comments down below. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Please let me know if you want to see the next festive videos on the comments down below. So, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.